of tea.
No, a cup of tea.
Yeah, this is where the cars go when they've been naughty. This is what I call my achievable dream car. I'd love to get a Ford GT40 in the garage, but I know that's never going to happen. So this is the car that I told myself one day I would have. This is my 1996 Rover Mini. I've wanted a Mini since I was like 13. My buddy Corey in high school showed me the Italian Job, the original one, for the first time my freshman year. And since then, I was like, I really need to get one of those. A couple of interesting things about this car. It's a Japanese market Mini, which means that it is equipped with air conditioning, which is not often something you get in a Mini. Also means it has fuel injection, so I don't have to fiddle with carburetors. Honestly, I just put the key in, turn it over, and it starts up almost every time. If you drop a sheet of paper in there, it's probably not going to fall very far. But if you drop a screw, you're going to have to pick the whole car up and shake it around to find it ever again. The checkerboard plaid that you see in there is the tartan of the Tartan edition. As far as the historicity behind the tartan pattern, I don't know that. There are certain, each clan has their own pattern of tartan. Couldn't tell you what this pattern is, but the plaid seat coverings are the tartan of the Tartan edition. That's what you got with the special edition. I have been looking for Minis on and off for the last decade. I found this from a guy in Arizona who had brought it over from Japan. This one was actually listed on the Mini Mania forums. I reached out to him and we struck a deal. I got it shipped over in 2021. I've always been a fan of oddball and unique vehicles. One of the things that I get a lot of value about, and again, I think that is really cool about the car community, is it's just such a good way to meet new people where you've got this common framework or shared understanding. Again, it might not be complete total overlap, but you like the same type of thing that I like, which is cars. You might like lowriders or donks or Hondas or old British cars, but we are all kind of around the same kernel, and it is a really good way for these communities to just naturally spring up. My dad has always been a car guy. He's been a car guy forever. So it was something I kind of grew up, and it was in my DNA. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a police officer, and the reason I wanted to be a police officer is so I could drive fast. It's a cliche, but everyone says slow car fast for a reason. When you're this small, it kind of feels like the scale magnifies. So 60 miles an hour in this feels like you're doing 120. Getting out on the road in my Focus, it's second gear, you're already doing 60 miles an hour. So what are you supposed to do with the other 4 gears? This, I've only got 4 gears, and you use every single one of them, and you use all of them. Everyone says it's like a go-kart for the road, and it really is. You know exactly where your wheels are, you know where you are in relation to the traffic, to the road, to the lines. It's a very analog car, so you get a great feel for your space in space. I used to work at an air museum, and we had this ancient tug that was a 4-speed. We would rent it out as an event space. So when we had events, we would have to pull the airplanes out of the hangar. And to do that, we had some planes that you could push by hand if you had a few people doing it. But other planes, you actually had to tug them out. And that was the first time I learned to drive stick, was on an aircraft tug. So I have no idea what it's saying, but I assume it's something like, "Hey dummy, you forgot to put your toll pass in here." Yeah, this is where the cars go when they've been naughty. So I've got my daily driver, which is the Focus ST. My fun summer car, which is the Mini. I have an 89 F-150 that I just put a new engine and transmission in. I literally just picked up last week Honda Civic Del Sol, and then I also have a little fun rally car, which is a Scion XB. This is my Scion XB. I got it for free. It was the daily driver of Jason Torchinsky. He's a writer for the Autopian, Jalopnik. They actually filmed a series called "The Worst Vehicles to Eat While," or "The Worst Food to Eat While Driving," and they filmed it in this vehicle. And then they left the car in a Honda manufacturer's parking lot for a year afterwards. So when I picked it up, it was full of rotten food. It smelled a little bit like a dumpster, and that's the reason they were getting rid of it. I picked it up. I told them I was going to turn it into a race car or a rally car, and they said that was a good enough reason to give it to me. So I put a lift kit on it, put these mud terrain tires on it, and I have participated in a few hoopty cross races. I actually won my class in this car this year, so this is an award-winning race car. These are depreciating assets. These are things that are actively falling apart a little bit more every single time you use them. And they require constant maintenance, constant upkeep, and constant love. And it's through that shared love of cars that you can form these connections with people that you might not interact with in any other scenario. You know, I find that the most rewarding thing about car culture in general, and this group called Mars of people who are trying to, you know, keep these objects that are actively trying to kill themselves alive a little bit longer. It all works. It's only got 100,000 miles on it. It's got a dedicated storage spot for it.
Cool. Is that somebody else? I don't have to. No.
Oh, just put the key in.
Honestly, I don't need to drive it.
Here, I'm gonna show you the coolest thing. Gotta look behind you.
Oh, dude, that is peak terrible 2000s.